I was looking for
So you came to the
attention.
marriage
Yes.
looking for healing.
Looking for healing. Came to the marriage thinking, this is it at last. You know, this is my own family. This is now my person, you know.
Belonging.
I am covered. I found belonging. I found all that. And for me, I love with a lot of passion, and for sure we had an amazing start, you know, the dating time and then the honeymoon years were just cloud nine. Really loved on each other, were affectionate and all that. But I still had these wounds playing in the background.
Emotional, mental?
Emotional, mostly emotional wounds playing in the background. And my husband, God bless him, he didn't really understand my needs. Even I didn't understand what I was looking
Do
for.
we ever really understand? Does anyone?
Does anybody? Actually, somebody's written a book called Lies at the Altar. Everything we utter at the altar is mostly a lie. We have no clue what we are pledging, who we are committing to, and we make these huge vows.
Oh, we look nice saying I do. We do.
I do. Clueless. I do. Anyway, but maybe that's the best way, because if we really knew, we may not come.
Yeah, if you knew it, you wouldn't go.
So I come in and my husband, he does what all good men do. I have a wife now. We're building a family. Let me go out to the world and conquer.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I'm here, you know, don't leave me. And he throws himself into work, and he's working long hours. You know, we started off really poor. And he's a doctor, he's working these long hours, and he's coming home, and I'm disappointed in him every day. Now, when I say disappointed in him, most people, it's going to fly over their heads. When a man, one of the core things about a man is to be admired. The core thing about a woman is to be loved. So a man walks into the door, and he has been, you know,
Conquering the world.
Yeah, so hard. And guess what you dish out to him?
Lack of
disapproval.
Yes.
Indifferent sometimes.
Disapproval, cold shoulder. Where were you when I needed you? I needed a hug at 6 p.m. I needed somebody to walk with. I needed someone to watch the sun set with. You know, I made my dinner. It's gone cold. I put out the candles. You know, it's too late.
I'm virtually alone.
I'm alone. You warned me and you left me in the house, and I was disappointed.
I don't know, with this weather, many women are really struggling.
Really disappointed, really lonely, and this started to grow. And remember, we came from an extreme high. So when
Pendo, it is valid, isn't it? Those feelings that you are having there, the disappointment in him, not meeting you at your point of need.
Yes.
It's not like you are a spoiled girl who is looking for attention. It is a valid need, isn't it?
It is a valid need, but I can tell you that because of my lack of development, emotionally and mentally, I couldn't even present my needs in a way that he could understand or respond in, you know.
The problem with us men, we want it to be written, you know, clearly in big letters.
Man should be given a list.
You know,
when you do this, these are the points you get. When you come home early, you earn 10 points. When you
now that
and now the problem, I think, in my own guessing, is that women, I don't know if I'm
they want to be figured out.
Exactly, women want to be figured out, and they feel it's quote unquote unromantic to give me a list.
Yes.
It takes away the effort.
It takes away the intrigue.
What I've come to learn, and Pendo, you can guide us on this, but please hold on to your thought, because we're talking about this. So, the man is turning up late, right? And you are disappointed. But in his mind, if he turns up late, but with a check, this should count for something, right? Now, what I found out about women is the greatest marks you'll ever get from a woman are for effort. Like, if you show that you're trying to be interested in her,
Not, effort. That effort you're talking about is not effort at him being a doctor and healing patients.
Correct.
It's effort towards
knowing me and my world. Yes, you get more points.
That's why you will never get a list, my brother. But I think that's what
as men,
we'll generate a list for.
we desire that list.
Yeah.
And the problem with that list is that it's not fixed.
We've tried to come up with it through the AAA man.
Yeah.
That's our closest cheat sheet.
That's a very generalistic list because women are different, and even the list itself, it keeps varying from time to time. But the bottom line is what you've just said. The bottom line is she wants to see effort towards her.
In fact, I could throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, please do.
Completely take you off.
Yeah.
That list isn't really going to help you very much.
Right.
Why? Does it change every episode?
It's like telling someone to run a marathon when they didn't learn to crawl and they didn't learn to walk.
Yeah.
What are the chances that they'll win that marathon?
They're not equipped for it.
They're not. You're just not ready. So, unfortunately, the list only goes skin deep. And it's not just the men who are ill-equipped for the marathon, it's also the women. And
the marathon here is marriage.
Yes, the marathon is marriage. Marriage isn't like a tiny sprint or what. It is a marathon.
But people say, at least I've done my 10 years. At least I've done 5 years.
It's the same thing like saying I've been born again for 20, 30 years and so on. It counts for nothing if the quality of the life you've been living is not commensurate to the decision you made.
Yeah.
Continue.
So these lists you're looking for, please look for something else.
What do we look for now?
Please look to heal your inner man and to develop into a healthy human being with ability to be soothed and calm and happy and whole, to process your emotions, to express them, and to process cognitions normally. Because when you can do that, even if your wife is immature or whatnot, as long as you are secure, and I'll speak about the attachment styles shortly, you are able to help her grow into the woman she needs to be. So if she throws you this disapproval, you're able to say, no, they don't talk to me like that. And you're able to do it in a kind way and in a way that she will be able to take it. But once she throws you some criticism, and then you clam up and you close up. And
because earlier on you talked about filters, because the filters are there in a man. Yes. He's a guy who has gone out there, he's working, your husband, right?
Yes.
And he comes seeking something else, but he gets something else.
Yes.
And the poor guy, generally for men, he doesn't understand you. And like we said earlier on, your need is valid. Mm-hmm. His is also valid.
Yes.
So there is it's like a bouncing off. Where is the solution now?
There is a solution, and the solution is not far.
The solution is right.
It is. Yeah, the solution isn't far. The solution is coming back into yourself. It is like reconnecting. It's like we are these projects of electricity, and we are just disconnected. And somehow you expect the light bulb to work and the computer to work. We need to reconnect with ourselves. And I'm sorry to throw this metaphor in, but we do need to reconnect with who we are and allow and reparent. Almost all counseling, let me say, starts with one thing. We call it reparenting. So I've told you that a lot of this development, psychological, psychosocial development, should have happened in the younger years, before the age of 18. So when we get into therapy, normally we are reparenting. We are sending you messages of it's okay to be you. Your fears are valid. Your thoughts are valid. Your emotions are valid. You're okay to explore. Your industry is possible. These are the messages we are now trying to give you, so that you can go back and understand yourself differently. I'm okay, But what most of us secretly think is that we're not okay. And so I have to prove to the world and get this number of things, and I have to be fake because, you know what, someone is going to discover that I'm actually not okay, I'm defective. Most of us think at the very core of us that we are defective.
But aren't we? That is question number one.
No, we're beautiful souls.
That is, I'd assume that you are looking at it from a progressed point of view. Mm-hmm. When I say that we are all defective, I'm looking at it from a realistic point of view. Mm-hmm. That let's first agree we're all hurting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then from there we can see each other as we can be. Mm-hmm. I mentioned this earlier on one of our podcasts, and I said that the gift of grace that is required of us as human beings to grow in relationship and in life really brings us to a place where when you see someone who is 80% but you're looking for 100%, you say to yourself, there is no one else, there is no one with 100%. The 20% is a gift that I am giving them that makes them whole. And that is now where you are looking at your partner being childish, but giving them the space to grow, calling out the good in them, and repairing and reparenting. And it's funny you said reparenting is the basis of counseling, and I thought maybe that's why counseling is very expensive, because because we're talking about dealing with 30 plus years of a broken mental psyche. Yeah, and for someone who has just gotten married like myself, I mean, I'm not yet even 2 years into it. I want you to tell us about, because we don't have much time, but I can't let you go without talking to drama. Yeah, the marriage drama.
And what is the marriage drama? Is that
what is
you want to say?
And how does it turn up? And there are people who are in this season for 5 years, 10 years, and it looks like forever. This is the part where forever seems very hard to get. And then bring it to an end for this particular episode by taking us to the place of, this is the better side. This is that beyond the drama. There is someone who is listening to us and is contemplating leaving. They have had it with the drama. But if they never hear someone else speak hope, let this be the time. No pressure.
Okay. Thank you. So drama, gosh, where to begin? So maybe not, let me say every, but mostly when we are attracted to people, to someone, of the opposite sex, you are coming in with a lot of hope. Your hope is through the roof that your problems, your pain, your aloneness this is the end of it. And when we are filled with hope, there are these hormones that are just released in your body, hormones of wellness. You feel like you can conquer the world. Even people start to glow. Yes, when they're in love. They feel loved, they forget that they forget the bills, but they forget that they thought that they were defective. Suddenly you feel, I have been chosen. I am wanted. I am desired. I am cherished. I am special. I have been chosen from among many. And that does so much good for us. So much good. And I feel like we didn't finish that other thought of
attachment.
We were different. No, we had different points of view on, are we defective or are we not? I really think that we were talking about two different things. If your son or if you have a cut on your hand, does that make you defective? No, it makes you a human being with a cut on the hand. I think that at our core, we are not defective. We are beautiful souls. Everybody is a beautiful soul. But park that one and let's get to the drama. So here's Ngonzi, 2 years married, and there are these hormones and this hope that is playing on his mind. and making him really enjoy and interpret things really well, because he's well. These hormones are affecting him. But with time, some of